So human eye and the colorful world is the name of the chapter, right? Name of the chapter is what? Human eye in the colorful world. Okay. So in this chapter, we'll be learning about the human eye, its functions. Okay, its functions means the function of every parts and defect there and the defect like myopia and hypermetropia by the which glass we should wear when we are unable to see any objects far or any near objects. Okay, how our eye defects can be corrected, that we'll study in the topic 2, and in the topic 3 we'll discuss refraction of light. We'll discuss about the prism. Okay, so okay, is Safia there? Somi ma'am, it's Safia there?
Yes, ma'am, she's there.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Okay, so can you all switch on your camera? Rudu, can you switch on your camera? And
Camera
Safia?
has some problems.
Yes, Rudu, what you say?
My camera has some problems.
Your camera has broken. Okay. So first we study the human eye. Human eye. We switch it. Okay. Human eye is what? From which we can see this all colorful world. Okay. The world around us that we can see is through our eyes. Okay. And in which phenomena does it work? In which phenomena does it work? The light, the our eye. Which phenomenon of light does it work?
Refraction.
Yes.
Refraction.
Refraction, yes. Why refraction? Because we can see easily that this lens. Okay, and lens is responsible for refraction. Okay, and we have convex lens. Okay, okay, and it's of like some of the tissues and cells in it. Okay, fine. So first we'll study its parts. First part we will study is the, I have mentioned it's quite complicated, so I drew another diagram. Okay, so that will be easy for you to understand. So first is the first part, the outer layer. The outer layer of this is what? Outer layer of the eye is the most outer layer of the eye is what? Cornea. Is what? Cornea. Such as you must have studied about in the chapter of bio as cell. The living the cell is there, na, the chapter in the, I think it's of ninth class. In ninth class you must have read about the cells, that the outer part is called the plasma membrane. Is it so? What it does? Its function is to protect the cells from the foreign materials. Right? Right now, Safia? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So just like that only, Shazan, you joined so late. Okay. So first part we are discussing, Shazan, the of the eye.
Hello,
First,
ma'am.
yeah, the first part is called the cornea. Okay, what it does, its function is just like as the function of plasma membrane for the cell. Okay, what first function is that it actually has two functions, two main functions. The cornea has actually two main functions. Okay, so first function is to protect the eye from the foreign materials. Okay, so where is the we define? First function is the protect the eye from foreign materials, means that is harmful, which is harmful. This is not its main function. It's actually it has two functions. Okay, the second function is that of the cornea, it actually refracts most of the, means 80% of the light gets refracted through the cornea itself. Okay, so means most of, means it's the lens is also responsible for the refraction, but in addition to that, who does the main work of refraction? The cornea does the main work of refraction. It refracts most of the light. It refracts most of the light that it incident the light that gets incident on the eye. It refracts most of the light, almost 80% of the light in the cornea itself. The light gets refracted in the through the cornea itself, and then whatever be the rest light that went unrefracted will get refracted by what? By cell. Sorry, by this lens. Okay, fine. So the second function is what? It refracts almost 80% of the light that is incident on it. That is incident on it. Okay, it reflects almost 80% of the light that is incident on it. Fine, this is the second function. This is very important function of this cornea, because the main refraction occurs in the cornea only. Okay, fine. Now the second part comes aqueous humor. What is the second part? Aqueous humor. Where is it? It's here. This is the aqueous humor. Okay, this is the aqueous humor. And what it does? What it does, as the name is, as the name is there, aqueous means what? Aqueous means what?
It means dissolved in water.
It means water. Aqua means what? Water, right? Right? So it has what? Water like consistency. It has what? Water like consistency. It has it has water like consistency, right? Like aqua consistency. Okay, it has water like consistency. And what does it do? ये करता क्या है? What does it do? It is responsible for maintaining the pressure inside the eye. Maintaining the pressure inside the eye. It maintains the pressure. Okay, what it does, it maintains the pressure inside the eye. The pressure inside the eye.
Yeah, ma'am, your handwriting is not visible.
It's not visible. uh, okay, I will just take a thin of this. Maintains the pressure inside the eye. Is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now I will write like this. Now, so first it was cornea, protects the eye from the foreign materials. And yes, one more thing about cornea, that it is the outer part of the that outer, like it's what we say, that it's like bulged out spherical membrane. No, means eyes are from the from if you will see it from the front, what it looks like, it like bulged out of the like flat it's not like flat, it's like bulged out of the spherical membrane, right now. So sometimes its shape get distracted, its shape get distorted due to some of the biological phenomena, which is known as corneal disease, also known as astigmatism. Astigmatism. Okay, this is not, we don't have to concern about this, but just for extra knowledge, astigmatism, which is what? Corneal disease. The shape of the eye gets disturbed. Okay, the shape of the eye get disturbed. Shape of the eye gets disturbed.
Ma'am, is the shape of the eye or the shape of the cornea?
Yes.
Will the shape of the eye get distorted or the shape of the cornea?
Yeah, I didn't get you. What is it? Distorted means what you said? What you said, Safia?
Ma'am, this disease, astigmatism, does it affect the whole eye or just the cornea?
No, it affects the just the cornea, just cornea. Okay, when you will having some problem with the lens, now when you are having problem with this crystalline lens, then it affects the eye inside. Means then you will go, uh, then you will get then you will get power, extra power. Okay. Okay. Now the third is iris, and third and fourth works in pair. What? Third and fourth works in pair. Iris and pupil. What is the third and what is the fourth? Third is what? This third. This is the third. This is like a door. This is the third part. Okay. This and this. This also third. Okay. This is the third. This door and this door. Okay. This is the third. And this opening that you are seeing here, this opening. Okay. This opening is the fourth. That is called pupil. That is called pupil. Okay. Now what they do, the iris and the pupil work in pair. So if you see, there is a shutter, like if you are having a shutter, like a door is having a two shutter type door are there. Okay. While to close the door, what it does, it just slide to touch each other, and then the opening will get closed. Okay. And in order to open this door, what one have to do, this shutter has to go away from each other, right? Then it will get open. This is what the iris does to pupil. To open the pupil, this is the pupil, right? This is the pupil. This fourth part is the pupil, but I don't want to mention it here because it will also get complicated. So in order to open the pupil, what it does, this opening is your pupil, and these doors are what? Iris. It actually, iris does what? It actually controls the opening and shut of the pupil. It controls the opening and shut of the pupil. Okay, fine. That how much light should enter the eye, how much light should not enter the eye. it depends on pupil and iris, and it decides. It means they both decide simultaneously. If more of the light will such as more of the light will come, many of the means uh, more light will if more light will come, what will happen? The iris will try to close this opening. Okay, close this pupil, because if a lot of a lot of lights will go inside the eye, then it will affect the eye. Okay, so it start closing the pupil. Okay, so these are the function of, if very dim light is coming, then what it does, it opens wide. It goes away from there. Okay, it goes away from each other. It opens wide so that most of the light can go inside the eye, so that you can see the things in dim light. Okay, and if you want to see anything in very like in sunlight, so it will do what? It will come close to each other to close this opening, so that minimum light will go inside the eye, so that it will not affect the eye inside. Okay, fine. You got it? So what we'll write the function? Iris. For iris, what it is? It is actually the muscular diaphragm. It's of muscular. So it is muscular diaphragm. Okay, this muscular diaphragm is a wait. Okay, it is the muscular diaphragm which controls the size of the pupil. Okay, its function is this. It controls the size of the pupil, and the size of the and the function of the pupil is what? Its function is to regulate the amount of light entering the eye. If more of the light will enter the eye, then iris will start closing the pupil. Okay, because it cannot bear more light, so it regulates the amount of light entering the eye. Fine. Okay, understood these points? Actually, pupil is just an opening. It has to do opening can do what? Opening can do nothing, right? Opening can do nothing. What can do? Only door can do something, right? It should open, or it should or should it get closed? It depends on door. Means door will do these things. Whether pupil should get opened or it should get closed. The door means the iris will do these things. But still, the pupil is there. So function of the pupil will write that it regulates the amount of light entering the eye, and it does not depend on us. It's not depend on us that we will decide that whether it should open wide or whether it should close. It depends on what? It depends. It's actually involuntary muscle. Involuntary. It's not in our control. The brain will send the message that more light is coming, so go and shut it down. So it will shut it. Okay, fine. So it's not depend on us that whether it should get open or not. It does automatically. Okay, by itself. Now the fifth one is crystalline lens. The fifth one is crystalline lens. This fifth one. Okay, this fifth one is crystalline lens. Crystalline lens is what? It refracts the light that comes inside it. So most of the refraction was actually done by the cornea, but still the rest refraction will do what? Rest refraction will be done by crystalline lens. And one more thing, crystalline lens and ciliary muscle also works in pair, just as iris and pupil works in pair. Crystalline lens and ciliary muscles also works in pair. Crystalline lens, first we'll write the function for crystalline lens, that it refracts most of the it refracts the light. So to this, and refracts the light. And one more function of this is that because it will do with this it does work with the ciliary muscle. Okay, so it does what? It also, crystalline lens, it refracts the light. Yes, it reflects the light, and what it does, it focuses the light, focuses the image on the, where does the image get focused? Retina. On the retina. I will tell about retina. Retina is this. It focuses the images on retina. Okay. The light entering, just like this is your eye. The light is coming. Okay. The light is coming, and most of the refraction are done by this cornea only. And then the light is coming, and it does what? It focuses the light on retina. It's not got focused. Focus the light on retina. This is your retina. Okay. So this is why we can see so that we can see the object. So it refocuses the image on retina. Now, what the ciliary muscles do? What the ciliary muscle do? It has very important function. It has very important function. Ciliary muscle is what? This ciliary muscle. This sixth part. This is not visible. So orange. This is your ciliary muscle. It actually does what? It holds the lens. It holds the lens. Okay. It holds the lens. Whether the focal length should be large or it should be small, it depends on this ciliary muscle. It depends on this ciliary muscle. Okay. If it will get if the ciliary muscle is tightened, it's very tightened. Okay. So then the focal length of the lens will be very small. Will be very large. Okay. If the ciliary muscle will tighten, means this is your what lens. Okay. If ciliary muscle is holding this lens very tight and it's very tightly, okay, very tightly, then this will be elongated, and once this will be elongated, then it will be having large focal length, right? It will be having large focal length. And if it leaves from both of the ends, if it leaves from both of the ends, then what will happen? If the ciliary muscle leaves the lens, then what it will do? The lens will become small and thick. The lens will become small and thick, and once the lens will be small, then what will happen to its focal length? The focal length will also be small. Focal length will also be small, right? Can you understand this point? The work of ciliary muscle. Ciliary muscle is what? Ciliary muscle is what? You want to see. You want to see nearby objects also clearly, and you want to see far objects also clearly. Is it so? Yes or no? Yes, now you want to. If you it means if you are seeing on the phone, you want to see it clearly, and if you are seeing on the wall, then also you want to see clearly at the just after 1 second. So how can we see clearly? Even this phone also, and far away walls also, or even the stars also. So how does it get managed by the lens? When we want to see the far away objects, then what we do? Then what the lens do, and what the ciliary muscle and the lens do together? They When we want to see the far away objects, then ciliary muscle tightens the lens. Okay, tightens our lens so that the focal length will be large and it will get focused on the retina. But it will be when we want to see the nearby objects, then it becomes hard for the lens to focus it on the retina by using this lens. This lens cannot focus the light coming from the very nearby object. What will happen if this lens? See, if the same lens is there, okay. If the same lens is there, the elongated lens is there, okay, it will be having large focal length, okay, and an object is about 25 to 30 centimeter in front of you, and it's so the object if the object is at 25 centimeter away from you, then the light will come like this. Means the light is already coming with this. So this kind of light is coming, right? This kind of light is coming towards the eye. So what it can do? It can do what? Most of the mostly it can do what? It can make the light parallel or very little bit of bend the light. It cannot bend the light whole to such that it can get focused on the retina. So that it can get focused on the retina. It cannot do this thing. Which type of lens then we want? We want thick lens. We want the power high. If your focal length is large, okay. If your focal length is large, then what will happen? If your focal length is large, then power will be small, right? Power will be small. Okay. If you have large focal length, then the power will be small. So less power is needed for this. But if you want to see this is for far objects. Okay. And if you want to see, because this lens cannot make you see clearly, make you see things clearly by when the object is very near. Okay. You cannot see things clearly by using this lens, by using this elongated lens or the lens with the large focal length. So which lens is needed? The ciliary muscle will do what? The ciliary muscle will leave the lens. Means in this they were tightening the lens, right? So that it was what, elongated. But it will, when the things are near at a distance of 25 to 30 to 40 centimeter, then what it does, the ciliary muscles leads the cells so that it will become loose and it will become thick. And thick lens will be having what? A small focal length. Okay, a small focal length. Now this lens can easily refract the light. This lens can easily focus the light on the retina. This lens can easily focus the light on retina so that we can get the sharp image of the object. Okay, so we can get the sharp image of the object, and this work cannot be done by this lens. It needs more power. It means more power means if the focal length is less, if the object is for nearby objects, if the focal length is less, then what? Power is high. The power is high. Okay. If focal length is less, the power is high. As you already have read in the previous chapter that the formula is P is equal to 1 by F. These are inversely proportion to each other, right? So, so what? This focal, if focal length is small, if focal length will be small, then what will happen to the power? It will be large, right? Focal length will become large. So the power will become large. So we can see the nearby objects by increasing the power. Okay. This type of defect no, this is not the defect. Okay, I will talk about the defect later on. So if this in this also we can see glimpse of defect, that if we are unable to see the faraway objects, okay, if we are unable to see faraway objects clearly, then what we need? Then what type of defect is this? If you are unable to see faraway objects, then what kind of defect is this? Do you wear specs?
Yes, ma'am.
Then which defect do you have? Which defect do you have?
Ma'am, it's myopia.
Myopia means you are having concave lens, right? Right? You are having concave lens. And if you are unable to see nearby objects, if you are unable to see nearby objects, then what kind of the defect is this? Hypermetropia. Okay. Myopia is also known as nearsightedness, right? Am I right? Nearsightedness, and this is also known as farsightedness. Nearsightedness, why? Because the capacity to see the near object is good, but he or she is unable to see the faraway objects clearly. Not like he is not blind. Okay, he can see the object, but the image of the object on the retina is not focused clearly. That is why he is unable to see the faraway objects clearly. Okay, he cannot see the object clearly or far. And unable to see nearby objects clearly. This is also need to mention. Okay, clearly. And this will be known as hypermetropia, which is also known as farsightedness. That faraway objects he or she can see clearly. Okay, but he is having problem in seeing nearby objects. Okay, anyone can have these two. And generally we are having the old age. In the old age we get like hypermetropia. Okay, in the school age and college age we get usually myopia. We get this defect because we usually do what? We see mobile with the near. We see books and copies every time. So with the near it gets, so we get myopic eye. Okay, during these ages. But in the old ages we get hypermetropia, or we can get both of them. Okay, or the person can get both of them, hypermetropia and myopia both. Okay, fine. So these are the things that we are there. Ciliary muscle, yes, its function is to what? I just forgot to do all these things, and I was ciliary muscle. Its function is what? They adjust the focus. We'll do it fast. Adjust the focal length of the lens. Okay, fine. Understood? These points we'll also discuss it in the next class also. First we'll just have a vitreous humor. Okay, the seventh is the vitreous humor. Vitreous humor is what? This is the vitreous humor, seventh. This 7 is the vitreous humor, the whole thing, the whole this pink part. The whole thing is the vitreous humor. Vitreous humor is what? Just like aqueous humor is the vitreous humor. Aqueous humor is what? Aqueous humor has the water-like consistency, but in this vitreous humor is having what kind of consistency? What kind of consistency it has? It has honey-like consistency. Honey-like consistency. It has honey-like consistency. Honey-like consistency. And what it does? It is responsible for maintaining the shape of the eye. It exerts pressure in all the direction of the eye. Okay, it exerts pressure in all the direction of the eye so that it is having honey-like consistency, and it exerts all the pressure in the wall, in the on the walls of the eye, out this inner part of the eye, taking retina. Okay, so and it and why does it give pressure to the on all the surfaces? Why does it give pressure? Because it maintains the, in order to maintain the spherical shape of the eye, it is responsible to maintain the spherical shape of the eye. Spherical shape of the eye, or you can say round shape of the eye. Okay, spherical shape of the eye. Okay, retina. Retina is the photographic plate. Means you can say, photographic plate. That it it does what? It does what? What it does? Retina is a photographic plate, and what we have to write here? Yeah, you can see from here that what has been written here. The retina, light sensitive surface. Okay, here the images are formed. Light sensitive surface. It is the light. Is it visible clearly? Is it visible clearly? Or you can also say light sensitive.
Can you reduce the thickness of the stylus?
Okay, it is photoreceptive. Photoreceptive. It has photoreceptive. Okay, photoreceptive cells. It has photoreceptive cells actually. And what kind of cells are there? There are two cells. One type of cell is rod cell, and another type of cell is, let me write it with another pen. Fine. A rod cell, and another type of cell is what? Cone cells. Rod cells is responsible for Rod cells are responsible for the rod cells and cone cells. Rod cells are responsible for the intensity of light. Intensity of light. Intensity of light. I'm telling you what the means of intensity of light. And cone cells are responsible for the colors that we see, the colorful world. Colors of the light. That we can see these colors now. Due to which we can see these colors? We can see these colors because of these cone cells. Okay? Because of these cone cells, we can see the colors of the, we can see different colors. Okay. Now rod cells does what? Rod cells, just like we can also see the objects in very dim light. We can also study in street light. We can also study in lamp. We can also study, it means we can see the things in very dim light also. It's just because of the rod cell, because we have a lot of rod cells. We have a lot of rod cells. We can also do our works at night, right? In the tube light, in the moonlight, we can do the works in these lights also. But for the birds, what they do, just at the sunsets, they go to their nests, right? They go to their nest, because for them it's not the moonlight and the street lights are not sufficient for them, to see the objects clearly. So for them, means if the sun has got set, it's night for them. It's what? It's night for them. It's only the sunlight that they can see the objects clearly. They can see only in sunlight, and we can see even in street light, even in candlelight, we can see the things, right? Just because of rod cells, because we have lots of rod cells. Okay, and cone cells also we have sufficient. We can see the colors, different type of colors. Okay, fine. We can see the colors. So this is known as the retina, is the photoreceptive cells where the images are formed. Here the images are formed. Okay, here the images are formed. Here only the images are formed. From where it goes to the optic nerve, and then optic nerve takes it to the brain to interpret it, and then brain tells us that this is the thing. Then we say that yes, this is the phone, and this is the laptop, and this is the thing that we are seeing right now in front of us. Okay. So optic nerve. Yes.
Could you show the retina in the diagram?
Oh, yes. Sorry, forgot. This is the retina. This your, which number was that? 8 number, I guess. No. Here is your retina. I forgot to show in this diagram, or what? I don't think that I have not shown. Which number is this? Retina is 8, no? Oh, I just showed it with the blue color. That's why I got this is your retina. Let me show with the blue color only. This is your retina, where the images are formed. Where the images are formed. Okay, where the images are formed. Okay, here only the lights gets converged. Lights gets converged and bring the and focus the very sharp image of the object here. And when our eye suffer from some defection, then what it does? Defect. Then the lens is unable to focus the image on retina. So we see the blur image of the object. So we see the blur image of the object, and this is why we need what extra lens to correct that defect. Okay. Now, what does the optic nerve do? Optic nerve is responsible for. Optic nerve is responsible for. It takes the. It takes the. It changes the light. Changes the light energy into electrical energy. Okay. Yeah, you can say light energy, or you can say what? You can say optical signal. Optical signal. Light energy. You can also say optical signal into electrical signal. If you talk about energy, then you can say that light energy into electrical energy. So optical signal into electrical signal. It changes the optical signal into the electrical signal and sends the information to what? Sends the information to Rudra. You are getting now or getting bored? Are you getting bored? Yes, I'm
I
finishing.
know.
Okay. Electrical signals it changes optical signal to electrical signal and send the information to what? Tell me. Fast. Tell me. Safia, tell me. Sends the information
To the brain.
to the brain so that they can interpret it and tells us what actually it is that we are seeing. Okay, optic nerve, the function of optic nerve is done. Blind spot. Blind spot is in the retina itself, but is in the middle of the retina where no cone cells and no rod cells are found. So we cannot see any objects there. There no images are formed. Here no images of the first we can see no rod cells, no rod or cone cells are found. Here, no rod or cone cells are found. Okay, that's why we cannot see any images. No images of the object are formed here. So this is known as the blind spot. That no images are formed in this point, and this is why this is known as what? This is known as what? Blind spot. Okay, no rod or cone cells are formed. Are found. We cannot see any row. So this is what and no images of the object are formed. We cannot see the objects at this whatever the if the image are even if it is forming, we cannot see the object. We cannot or you can write it like we cannot see the object. We cannot see the images formed at this point. We cannot see the images. Even if the images are formed, we cannot see the images because no rod cell or cone cells are there. We cannot see the images formed at this point. See here. Here it should be there. Blind. It is the point where the optic nerve leaves the eye. It contains no rod cells and cone cells. So an image formed at this point is not sent to the brain. So we cannot see the object. Okay. So we cannot see the object. Fine. We cannot see the object because the images that is formed is not sent to the brain. And if something is not sent to the brain, any information is not sent to the brain, then we cannot react to it. Okay, fine. And one more thing is there, sclera. Sclera is actually the white part that we see inside our eye. Now, the white part that we see, it actually followed by the cornea itself. The cornea. After the cornea, this is your sclera. We have to which color to use? I don't know. Pink. This the cornea actually continues. The cornea continues to form sclera. Sclera is what? Sclera is what? The white part of the eye. Okay, this is the white part. You can see it 11 like sclera. It is the white part of the eye. Also written it. Also in the notes is there. White part of the eye. So got every point. All the parts.